I'd started messing with strings, the idea of strings. I thought about it in about 1980, and I started messing with it, I suppose, autumn 81. Tirae came out in summer 82. And I'd been messing with it. We'd done a single called Liars A to E in autumn 81. But around that time, Kevin Archer played me his demo of the songs that he'd done, demoed, for his band, and it sounded better than mine. Instead of using cellos, and he'd used a couple of one violin, and it just sounded much lighter. And I was very influenced by that, by what he did, which was wrong. I shouldn't have been.
The demo I'd done, I was very proud of, and I played it to him. I got a cassette. I went round his flat, but I played it on a Walkman, and it was only a Walkman, and so there was just one speaker on it, and he couldn't hear properly, and he said, "Can I keep the tape?" And I said, "Yeah, keep the tape." Anyway, that was it, and then I didn't hear for ages, and then I switched the radio on. I was with a group. We were having a meeting around my flat in Old Hill, and I heard Gina. I heard "Come On Eileen," and I said, "That's my song. That's my sound. Whatever." I said, "That's mine." A year after that, Kevin Rowland phoned me up and said, I've been on tour, I haven't had time to talk, and he said, "Can we meet?" And I met him, and he didn't mention it, He didn't mention that he nicked the idea. And he never mentioned it again until 1995, when he gave me 30% of the royalties for Eileen, and some of the album tracks on Tirae A. Because it all sounds like the Blue Ox Babes early demos.
I thought he was going to put a record out. And I wished he had, when I was really surprised that he didn't, actually. But yeah, I suppose that was the missing piece in the jigsaw, and it all fitted together then. Come on, Eileen, oh, I swear, oh, come on, let's take up everything. Would you address Eileen, nothing else? Oh, come on, let's come on, Eileen.
I remember when I found out Come On Eileen got to #1, as I was staying at a girlfriend's in Newcastle at the time, and you could phone up the morning before and find out the chart positions, and I phoned up and found out we got to #1, and it felt great after all that work and not getting any real commercial success. It was brilliant. It felt kind of like floating on air for a little bit, but then that wears off, and it's what we're going to do next, really. Come on, Eileen, to the right. Come on, Eileen, to the right. Now you're wrong. Now you have your wrong. Oh, Eileen. Said, come on, Eileen. It's been there how you right. How you feel. To the right. Now I must say more than ever. Things round and change. I said to you. Again, it was great to begin with. It's great because we've been through a difficult time, not been really selling many records, and the record company was just talking about dropping us, so it was good. It was great to get that big hit, but it's sort of, again, the same thing happened.
you know, very new, massive audience again. It's very hard to take that audience very, you know, straight away, sudden audience. It wasn't built, it was all, you know, sudden new audience, you know. They don't really know you, you know what I mean? But then again, I suppose that's an advantage. That's okay, I suppose. But that's what happened. So, but we came to see it. It was bigger than the group again. You know, it was like it crossed over, like Gino had crossed over. This crossed over only much more, and it was bigger than the Dexys again. So that was weird. You've got a song that's bigger than the band, you know. I just sort of withdrew, really. I withdrew, and everybody was going, "Oh, it's fantastic, it's all great." And I was like, "Yeah, it's great, isn't it?" But inside, I was like, "What the hell's going on?" You know, I just felt very lonely and isolated.
The more people it brought in, the more he wanted to kind of push it away, you know. And I think that process started with Gino, was definitely around with Come On Eileen, and Don't Stand Me Down was the result of the huge success of Come On Eileen, because that was the real anti-everything, you know, anti-band, anti-design, and anti-everything. Don't put a single out, you know. Put this album out, which has got the four of them sitting there static, like this. No life, no excitement, you know, nothing to grab you, you know. And no single from the album, you know, these videos which nobody ever saw. It was like, you know, it was the success of Eileen had kind of just sent it completely the other way, you know.
1, 2. Yeah. Well, let me go back further. Let me go back further, if I may.
Yeah, please do. Go on, yeah.
It was a rainy afternoon. It was 2, maybe 3 months ago. I first started to reminisce. I first started to reflect. There's a song called Reminisce Part 1. Do you know it? And I remember when I wrote that, I was like, oh yeah, now that's good, because it was after all the Tiraillé stuff, and I was just bored, man. I was like, Reminisce Part 1. I was like, yeah, that's really great. I'm really happy with that. So that was a breakthrough, and I thought, okay, we can sort of take this on. That inspired me. All the other stuff I was bored with. Do you know what I mean? But this inspired me, and I thought, okay, I'll bring this on, bring this further. So that's what we did. And I thought, now I can do something that's original. This is original. Nobody's done this. I can do this. But I think I wanted to do something that had some meaning to it, because I felt that I'd compromised through going here, there, everywhere, doing all the promotion, being Mr. Nice Guy. I felt I really had to do something now that, you know, because I tell you what, I had the money, had the success, and it didn't mean anything. I wasn't happy. So I thought, okay, I'm going to. And I saw Van Morrison, you know, and I thought, you know, he's a great artist. And he just does what's right, and he doesn't do this thing I've been doing, going around everywhere and doing all this stuff. I don't want to be like that. It's crap. You know, I don't want to be a fucking pop singer. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put everything I can into this, you know. And that's what I did. Go está singing for all the previous wild black curly hair. And I also started to get interested in politics, Irish politics then particularly, and also, you know, socialism and things like that. I started to, you know, read lots of socialist press, newspapers, and, you know, started to go on a couple of marches and things, and, you know, and went over to Ireland and stuff like that. Because what I'd been doing, it just felt all so shallow. And I wasn't able to enjoy it. I should have just enjoyed it, like most people do. You know, you become a pop singer like Robbie Williams or whoever it is. Or I wasn't like that, but was nowhere near as big. But we should have just enjoyed it instead of. I don't know. I'm just not able to be like that. So, or I wasn't. So, you know, I wanted to find something that had some meaning to it. You know, and nobody could tell me, well, you can't you can't do this because it will ruin your career. And I was like, well, who cares? It's shit. There was nothing they could threaten me with. No matter what they said, I was like, well, I don't care. I didn't care. So that's a good place to be.
I don't like this anymore. May I speak to you now? But I can't help it. All the time
I enjoyed making Don't Stand Me Down at the start. It wasn't even Don't Stand Me Down, there were all sorts of provisional titles. But it took too long. It really did. Because it was 2 years. 2 years of slog and 2 years of frustration. The first lineup to produce Don't Stand Me Down, we went into a studio in Montreux in Switzerland, but we got one song out of months of auditioning and rehearsing and a whole month in Mountain Studios. And that's a lot of work for one song. And it was Kevin and Helen's enthusiasm, their determination, I should say, really, that probably got the album finished, because I had enough. Well, I really had enough myself. But it's a great album, I'm pleased that we did finish it.
I would like to express myself.
Yeah, I think then, it just fell apart really. It just drifted away. We drifted apart, and I just thought, I started to write some new songs, just on my own, and just get into that sort of slightly 50s-y thing for some reason. I think it was a reaction against Don't Stand Me Down to do something very simple, really. But I can't listen to the next record, really. I haven't heard it for a long time, but I don't know. I think I just thought, it had all got too serious again with Don't Stand Me Down. It got very serious, and it hadn't worked. Nobody was saying this is a great album in 1986. Nobody. Not even Dexys fans weren't saying to me this is a great album. There didn't seem to be any Dexys fans then. It seemed like we'd lost the original ones with Turaye or whatever, and nobody seemed to get into Don't Stand Me Down at all. So I don't know, I felt like I'd made a mistake. Everybody was saying, oh, you made a mistake with that record, you made a big mistake. So I started to do something. I thought, well, okay, I'll do something. I don't know. I wrote them songs for The Wanderer very quickly. Didn't spend much time on them, really. I wasn't interested, really. I was kind of quite flat. So that was The Wanderer. And then, I had a Lost weekend. That lasted about 5 or 6 years. Basically, I just, I'd always remained abstinent, pretty much abstinent in Dexys. Didn't take much drink or drugs. Occasionally, but not very often. I think after the sort of, there came a point when I couldn't resist any longer. And I just got into cocaine. And any drugs, but particularly cocaine. And when I had money, I took it. When I didn't have money, I didn't, and that's how it was. But in the end, I had to get help. I couldn't stop on my own. I had to get help. And that's all I can say about it. I think all them songs have made me cry, It's like I went through some kind of thing, and I heard all these songs that I remembered from a long time ago, usually, and it's like, it reminded me of something I'd lost, and I don't know, I felt a real connection with them. Like when I did the backing track for Greatest Love, I could feel tears. I could feel tears because it was that moving. It just worked. You practice it, and you try, and it's not working. Then all of a sudden, something happens, and that's the one. There's a magic. There's something else happens, and you can just feel that this is a take. This is it. And that's what it felt like with Greatest Love, and maybe some of the others, Reflections, and loads of them actually. Yeah.
Are sweet as roses in the morning, and you to me How soft as summer rain at dawn, the love we share. That's something else. The sidewalks and the streets, the concrete and the clay beneath my feet begins to crumble. But love will never die. You know
That album to me was about love. See, all Dexys stuff, it'd been about fighting, you know, and being strong, and, you know, they're out to get you, but, you know, we can get through this, you know, that kind of thing. Whereas this was more about love. It was more about, isn't this beautiful, isn't this great, you know, it's a development. You know.
I will be in love eternally, and that's the way it's meant to be now.
I thought it was going to be a massive success. Just like Don't Stand Me Down, really. I thought it was going to be a massive success. I really did. I thought it would do really well. I think we released the wrong single again, you know. We should have released Greatest Love, maybe. It would have been good. I think he got one play on the radio, you know, a single, one play. No TV, he didn't get any TV show or anything like this.
That's the way it's got to be now. All around, I see the purple shades of evening. And
I don't know, maybe it was the dress. I don't know. I think I already started to wear a sarong. I started to wear a sarong about 95. Thought it looked good. I was in a Thai restaurant and I saw a guy, he was wearing one, a waiter, and I thought, oh, that looks good. I was just always looking for ideas, and I thought I started wearing it. And then I just imagined the dress, and so I got the dress made, and it just felt natural. So I went with it. You know, an idea comes, and it's best not to fight it, I find, just to go with it. So I go with it. I'm a guy who spends a lot of time being confused and don't know what's happening in life. So when something comes clear, I tend to write it down and go with it. It's the only thing that makes any sense.
that's the way it's got to be now. That's the way it's got to be now.
Well, how can I put it? I feel I've been led back to it. I feel I've been led to do this now. By something greater. I can't put it any other way. I put it this way, it doesn't make any sense. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I decided to do it for a reason. There was something happened in my life, and I thought, okay, what I'll do is I'll reform Dexys to do this, to make some money. Then that situation went away. That was no longer there. Okay? I didn't need to do that for money anymore. And then, by that time, I was already into this. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to carry on doing it. It's because it's the right thing to do. I feel I've been led to do this. Do you know what I mean? Events have transpired to make me do this. So I'm going to do it.
If you said to me the Clash were reforming, or the so-and-so reforming, I'd be like, oh. But it's Dexys, right? And it's like, with the Don't Stand Me Down album or whatever, I know it's going to be interesting. I know it's going to be, he's going to pull something off, you know, you're going to go, wow, you know. Great, it's going to look great and sound great, and, you know. And all us lot will get together again and we'll have our 2-hour chats about Dexys and whatever. But it's because they did it. They actually did it. They said, we are going to do A, B, C and D. And they did it, and E, F and G as well. And there's not many groups you can say that about.
It's okay.
I'm trying to live, really. I'm trying to you know, live in a way, trying to find a way of living that is more satisfactory than has been, you know, because it hasn't always been that satisfactory up to now. So I'm more interested in trying to be happy, really, than anything else, you know, and live a decent life. That's what I want to do now, because I realise that I can make a good album, you can do this, or you can do something that you think is great, but end of the day, you're going to go home alone, or, you know, it's, you know, nothing really has changed. That's just something that, it's nice that you've done that, but I can't seem to really, there doesn't seem to be enough, you know. I think there's got to be an easier way, really.
Listen. I decided long ago I didn't want to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, I'd like to live